Someone once left a sticky note on the wrong button. That mistake cost $400 million, and that is not even close to the most expensive mistake on this list. We are not talking about bad investments or failed startups. We are talking about a single wrong turn, a misplaced decimal point, a $2 part, moments so small, so ordinary that nobody thought twice until the bill arrived. And that bill had a lot of zeros. Number 10. The Mars Climate Orbiter, 1999. NASA spends $327 million building a spacecraft, launches it toward Mars, and after 10 months of travel across 300 million miles of empty space, it disintegrates, gone, because one engineering team used metric units, another used imperial. Nobody caught it. One team said newtons, the other heard pounds. The spacecraft hit Mars's atmosphere at the wrong angle and burned up like a cigarette paper. $327 million, a unit conversion error, the kind of thing a 7th grader gets marked wrong for on a math test. Number 9. The Therac 25. This one is darker. In the 1980s, a radiation therapy machine called the Therac 25 was considered a technological breakthrough, faster, cheaper, more advanced than anything before it. But there was a software bug, a tiny timing glitch buried in the code. When technicians typed commands too quickly, the machine skipped a critical safety step. Instead of delivering a therapeutic dose of radiation, it delivered a lethal one. At least 6 patients were killed or severely injured before anyone connected the dots. The company kept insisting the machine was fine. It was not fine. The cost in lawsuits and settlements ran into the millions. The cost in human lives was something else entirely. Number 8. Kodak invents the digital camera in 1975. Their own engineer, Steve Sasson, builds it in a basement lab. It works. Management sees it, quietly shelves it, and decides not to pursue it because it might threaten their film business. For 25 years, they sit on it. By 2012, Kodak files for bankruptcy. The company that invented digital photography was destroyed by digital photography. The lost value? Somewhere north of $30 billion. They were holding the future in their hands and locked it in a drawer. Number 7. The Vasa warship, Sweden, 1928. The most powerful warship ever built. It sails for approximately 1,300 meters, less than a mile, before tipping over and sinking in the harbor, in front of the watching crowds, in front of the king's guests. Investigations later revealed the ship was top-heavy by design. Officers had reportedly known something was wrong. Nobody told the king. The ship sat at the bottom of Stockholm Harbor for 333 years. When they raised it in 1961, it was almost perfectly preserved, beautiful, and completely useless. A 400-year-old monument to what happens when nobody wants to deliver bad news upward. Number 6. Knight Capital Group, August 1, 2012. A trading firm accidentally activates old, retired software during a system update. In 45 minutes, their computers execute 4 million trades. They lose $440 million. 45 minutes. The entire firm had to be sold to survive. The software responsible had been labeled as dead code. It was not dead. It had simply been waiting. Number 5. Chernobyl, April 1986. A safety test goes wrong at a nuclear plant in Ukraine. The explosion and subsequent radiation release forces the evacuation of an entire city, contaminates thousands of square kilometers, and, according to the Soviet government's own internal estimates, costs somewhere between $700 billion and $1 trillion in cleanup, resettlement, lost productivity, and ongoing medical costs. And there is still a 2,600 square kilometer exclusion zone around the site today. Still radioactive, still empty. The most expensive industrial accident in human history, triggered by a test designed to make the plant safer. The irony is almost too heavy to say out loud. Number 4. The Big Dig, Boston. Originally estimated at $2.6 billion in 1982. Final cost when completed in 2007, $24.3 billion. A tunnel project that was 9 times over budget and 16 years behind schedule. Roads collapsed, water flooded in, a ceiling panel fell and killed a woman. The contractors got paid, the city is still paying off the debt, and yes, traffic in Boston is still terrible. Number 3, the deforestation of the Los Plateau, ancient China. Over thousands of years, one of the most fertile regions in the world was stripped of its forest cover for farmland and fuel. The result was catastrophic soil erosion. The Yellow River filled with silt. Flooding became permanent. Hundreds of millions of people over centuries were displaced, starved, or killed in floods directly linked to this slow-motion environmental miscalculation. The total human cost is incalculable. It's possibly the most expensive environmental mistake ever made, and it happened so gradually that by the time anyone understood the full picture, entire civilizations had already collapsed around it. Number 2, World War I, June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria is assassinated in Sarajevo. The driver of his car makes a wrong turn. He stops to correct it. The assassin, Gavrilo Prince, who had already given up on the mission that day, happens to be standing at a nearby cafe. He walks over, he shoots. A wrong turn, a chance encounter outside a sandwich shop, and the chain reaction that follows kills 17 million people, redrew the map of the entire world, and directly seeds the conditions for World War II. The combined economic cost of both wars is estimated over $8 trillion. 2 moments, 1 wrong turn, 1 chance encounter, and the entire 20th century changes shape. And this is the one that should quietly disturb you. The 2008 financial crisis. A series of decisions by banks, rating agencies, and regulators, all individually legal, many of them considered best practices at the time, created a system so fragile that when it finally cracked, it wiped out $11 trillion of American household wealth in less than 2 years. 40 million people lost their homes or were pushed to the edge of losing them. Retirement savings gone, neighborhoods hollowed out, and the people most responsible for building the system, most of them walked away fine. Some of them got richer during the collapse. The most expensive mistake in modern history was not an accident. It was a series of choices made by intelligent people who were very well compensated for making them, which raises a question nobody really wants to answer. If the most catastrophic mistakes in history were made by engineers, governments, corporations, and experts, people who were certain they were right, what does that say about the decisions being made right now by people who are equally certain? Think about that the next time someone tells you they have it under control. Subscribe to FactFlux. New unbelievable truths every week.